Good afternoon. Today we have Dr. Miska with us. He is the president of Walter State Community College, and he is amazing. And we're going to spotlight Walter State Community College. So welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You are way too kind when you say you're amazing, but we always do appreciate wonderful comments.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you can, just tell us about Walter State Community College. I know you have several campuses. How many students do you have as well?
Right. So Walter State, we're a mid-sized community college here in the state of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We have about 5,500 students, just depending upon the semester. Our enrollment has climbed pretty much every semester since the pandemic. It kind of leveled off a little bit, went down some with the pandemic, and then it's grown since then. We have 5 campuses. We have, of course, our Morristown campus, which is our largest campus. Mm-hmm. We have one in Greenville, one in Claiborne County, one in Sevier County, and then we don't call it a campus, it's a center. It's in Cobb County, in Newport. So it's a great little facility down there.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I have heard, and for our viewers out there listening and watching us, I have heard that Walter State was named the #1 community college for 2 years running.
Right. Yes. Right. We have been the #1 community college for 2 years running. It was exciting. Now, in March of this year, we just announced a new community college who got the #1 award. That was the Northeast Community College. So we're really happy for them. I will say, though, the college is all funded according to the funding formula. So one of the things I try to go back to is we have a funding formula in the state of Tennessee. And every year that formula gets adjusted based on your outcomes and some of the different things that happen at the college. Mm-hmm. And so those outcomes, for example, are our graduation rate. We happen to have the highest graduation rate in the state.
Okay.
It is your retention rate, the number of students that get degrees or certificates. So there's a variety of different things that are out there. And so based on those numbers, our funding formula gave us an increase of almost $2 million. We're right at $2 million, which was the highest increase of any community college in the state. So while we didn't get the #1 community college in the year award, we still had the highest results in the funding formula. So we still feel pretty good about that.
That's awesome. And $2 million.
Right.
That's wild. And congratulations. Okay, so let's talk about something also near and dear to my heart, which is food.
Okay.
Okay, so the culinary, is it called the Walter State Culinary Institute?
Right. It's the.
Okay, I was thinking so.
So yes, it's the Culinary Institute. It's on our Sevierville campus, which makes a lot of sense for us because it really wraps into what we call our hospitality curriculum that we have. Yes. And if you think about Sevier County, of course, Sevier County is based on hospitality, visitors, people coming down there. So what we're trying to do with that program is certainly, and what gets probably the most publicity is our culinary program. So we're trying to prepare all those students who are interested in doing work in those restaurants. And it's a variety of different types of restaurants. It's not everybody just cooking. There's pastry work. There's dessert work. I mean, there's a variety of different things that has to happen. So our culinary program is really designed to set up and get our students prepared to go out in the workforce. And not only that, get them also prepared to go out if they want to be an entrepreneur and run their own business or their own. We get a lot of students that are doing a variety of different things on their own with the culinary program. And I'll also throw out another thing I think that's really important is we just recently started a butchery program. So you probably didn't know this, but it is a really big deal. I would say that I didn't know this myself and it's something that I learned. But it's a really big deal about how we go out and we butcher the meat and get it prepared for restaurants. Certainly, all restaurants have different qualities of meat, so we want to have students that can be able to work or be in all those types of programs or restaurants. So we have that program. And the great part about the program is we set it up in consultation with the German Chamber of Commerce out of a community, out of a small community in Thuringia, Germany, which again, something that we might not know is they are well renowned for their butchery and for their use of the animal, like a cow.
Of course I did.
Because of their bratwurst and the sausages that they make over there. And they use every bit of the animal as they're working their way through. Well, when you think about the vision of a community college, or what you're trying to do is we focus our vision. Everything is focused on student success. You know, our goal is to help students be successful. And when we talk about that, when we think about success, we talk about transforming people's lives through education. So we're looking to bring students into the college, maybe somebody that's interested in becoming a nurse. And you think about somebody that may be working as a CNA, and then they want to become a nurse. That's a transformational process for a student, because they're going to go from somebody making $10, $15 an hour to a nurse probably making $30, $40 an hour, having a great career, like a lot of ability to move up. So that's what we're looking to do. And I think one of the things that I love about Walter State is that the community is really, I think, behind us. And they see our transformational power that we have here. I can't tell you, we have, and I've been here now for almost 8 years, it'll be this summer, and what I've run into when I'm out in the community, I run into people that it's like a generation of their families, 2 to 3 generations of their family have come to Walter State. We're 50 years old now, so. And they see the power that the college has to get students started, to get them, like I said, that nursing degree, that respiratory therapy degree, physical therapy assistant degree, mechanical or engineering technology degree, agriculture, whatever it is, that they can go out into the workforce, start working, they can take care of their family, and do that. Or they can get that general education degree and they can go off to UT and then get that full engineering degree, or an architect. I've been hearing a lot of architects lately, or computer engineer, whatever it might be. But really our job, or my vision, is to transform people's lives through education. You have to have students. You have to be focused on student success to make that happen, and that's where we're trying to go. And to me, what that means is, you've got to be able to provide the best customer service for students. We don't like to call our students customers. We like to call them kind of something special, students. Just like doctors don't necessarily like to call their people customers. They're really patients. But really it is making sure that we're connecting, meeting all the needs that our students have. Our students have a lot of different needs. There's a lot of them coming through our doors. They're maybe taking care of their parents, taking care of children of their own, taking care of brothers and sisters. They have to work 20, 30 hours a week to be able to afford to live and to go to school. And so it's our job to be there for them, hear what they have to say, and do what we need to do to help them be successful, and like I said, transform their life.
See, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so what is the #1 degree
on the campus? Well, so
I'm just curious.
Right. When you say #1 degree, what I would throw out there is #1 can mean a lot of different things, right? So, and which is okay. But probably our where we have our top, the most number of students, it's our nursing program is going to be there. Our nursing program, our police academy. A lot of people don't realize this, but most of the police officers that you run into in East Tennessee were trained at our police academy, which a big part of our academy is down in Greenville. That's where we have dorms for them. They do some classwork, but then we have our driving track, and we have that. So those are probably our 2 largest degree programs, because the police academy it's a 12-week program that we just run every 13 weeks. 12 weeks program, every week off, and start another one. And we have 50 or 60 officers in that every time through. And then our nursing program, we're graduating twice a year, 150 plus graduates every year in our nursing program.
Wow, that is so impressive.
And the thing about it is, I always like to tell people, when students get an associate's degree, an occupational certificate out of community college, they're more than likely to stay in that community because they got that degree to work right here in that community. So if you think about that, that's 150 plus people that graduate with that nursing degree that go out into one of our 10 counties, work, make that great wage, buy a house, pay taxes, contribute to that community, and it just makes the community better and helps the community grow.
That's so interesting to know that most people stay here.
When
or
they get those,
stay
yeah.
in their communities.
Right. Right.
I think that's awesome.
Well, and that's why community colleges really are so important to the educational landscape of America, right? Without Walter State, how many people would leave and go somewhere else, get their education, and they may never come back?
Right.
But by having what they have here, they can get their degree here, they can get their associate's degree here, and a lot of people stop at that and go out into the workforce. And even now, though, with the way the world's working, for example, we have articulation agreements with some college where they get the first 2 years here, and they can do online work. And then, for example, in like the Hamlin County school system, they can do their student teaching, and they can become a teacher without ever having to leave Morristown or having to leave our 10 county service area to get that done. So it's really exciting.
Yes, that's very exciting. So what led you here?
To Tennessee, to
Yes.
Walter State.
Yes.
Well, so first I'd step back and say, I started as a faculty member at a community college.
Okay. Yes.
And I taught,
yes.
and I taught math, and I was also an assistant basketball coach. I played basketball at a community college and then a small four-year institution. Everybody, with as tall as I am, everybody probably thought that. Just kidding, of course. But anyway, so I did that, and so I went back to the college that I originally went to. That was in Illinois, Kishwaukee Community College. Is where I got my start. I was a math teacher and assistant basketball coach. And then the coaching was wonderful, but I realized, like, if you want to have a family and you want to do stuff, coaching really takes a lot of time. So that went away. I taught math for a year, and then I got an opportunity. I applied and interviewed and became a dean of math, education, science, health professional. Did that there. Went to a little bit bigger college, Elgin Community College, and did it as a dean there. I was like, I can do this dean thing. And I was also like,
I like it.
Right. And I was like, you know what, if I'm going to be here all the time, let's go for the presidency. So I worked on my doctorate. I got my doctorate in community college leadership. I became a vice president at a third college, and I just kind of worked my way up. And I did that for 7 years there. That was at McHenry County College. And then it was just time to apply. And I actually had originally got a job out in Oregon, but my wife's stepfather had passed away right when I was kind of working through that process of a contract. So just wasn't a good time to move, so I kind of set that aside. And then, we gave it about a year, and I started applying again, and this one came open. We had some friends that lived in Chattanooga, and my brother had lived in Cleveland, Tennessee, right in that area.
Yes.
And so we said, what the heck, let's give it a shot. We applied, and I got it, and I came down here. It's a beautiful area. As I kind of said earlier, what I really love about it is the people really believe in Walter State.
Right.
I think when I'm out there talking to them, they're like, yeah, my family went there, or man, I got my degree from there, my kids are going to go there. I had to laugh. We had just hired a new vice president of academic affairs, and he lives over in Jefferson City, and he said he had to go in, he had just moved to town, he had to go into the Walmart to get something. And I said, well, are you wearing your Walter State gear? He said, yeah. I said, people are going to stop you and ask you a zillion questions. And he didn't see, I texted him that, and he didn't see that. When he came out, he read my text, and he goes, funny thing, I can't tell you how many people wanted to tell me their life story about Walter State. So that's what I think is really exciting, how people are really connected with the college.
Well, just let me say, Walter State is so lucky to have you.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yes, hands down, yes. Okay, so we kind of touched on this just a few minutes ago, but kind of about customer service. What's your biggest asset at Walter State Community College?
Right. So when people ask me, what do we do that has made us get that #1 ranking 2 years in a row and then drive to get there? We have certainly looked at our organizational structure and made adjustments to our organizational structure to try to adapt to the current world. I mean, education isn't the same as it was 20 years ago, 30 years, 40 years ago, right? And especially with the pandemic, that caused a lot of changes. So we've made those changes. We've tried to focus on making sure our faculty and staff have all the resources that they need to do the things that they have to do. We've tried to make our campuses look beautiful. We've tried to put them in strategic locations. But you know what, when you kind of wade through all of those sort of things and you kind of go down to what I think is our biggest asset of all, and that asset meaning what we need to do to transform people's lives through education. Our employees, our faculty and our staff meet our students where they're at and get them to where they need to be. And they do that better than any college that I've been at.
Awesome.
Awesome. I kind of already mentioned this before. We have students that might be coming from the mountains of Cott County, where education isn't valued, and they say, hey, you're not really supposed to go to school, or might be coming from a family where nobody has gone to college, at all, and these students are just trying to get to school, and there's nobody really supporting them. And so that's why it's so important for our communities, for our Walter State family is what I was going to say, to be able to reach out and connect with these students, hear what they have to say, listen to them. I mean, how many times when you call the credit card company or call the bank or whatever, and you're like, hey, I need, and they don't listen. They just tell you what you need. I really think our employees listen to our students, and we try to get them what they need. And that means we have a fund, for example. If a student has a flat tire on their car and they don't have enough money to fix it, we'll come up with some money to help them fix that tire so that they can use that car to get back and forth, because that's the only way they're getting back and forth to school. We have food pantries around campus to make sure, because we have a lot of students that come hungry to campus, to class, to try to make sure they're there. We have advisors and counselors to make sure students, if they're struggling with their classes or struggling and need some counseling help, we're there for them. We also have what I think is one of the best programs, and it's an early outreach. So we have, I call it like a hotline, is what I call it. So if students are maybe plugging through their class doing well, maybe they got A's in the first two tests, all of a sudden the next test they failed it and they quit handing in homework, we'll alert, that'll be an alert, it's an early alert, it will go to our advising/counseling center, and we'll call that student and say, hey, we noticed there's been some changing in your grade. Is there something that we can do for you? Is there something you need help from? And that's where a lot of times, well, my car broke down, I can't get to school anymore, or I don't have anybody to watch my child anymore. Well, we have a grant, we can help you with that. I mean, so those things. So I just go back to that idea, our biggest asset, reaching out to students where they're at and trying to get them to where they need to be. Because it's a tough world out there.
Yes, and all of that is so impressive. So impressive. What I take from what you said, of course, everything's impressive, but you surround yourself with the best people.
Absolutely. So I can tell you we are so lucky. We've got great employees to do great work.
Yes, yes. As we're kind of wrapping up, what would you like to say to our viewers to entice them to come on back to Walter State, to go to any of the campuses, to help out in any way? What would you like to say to them?
So I threw out a few things, and we kind of talked about them already in this interview. First thing, when it comes to education in Walter State, a lot of times people think community colleges are just for students that graduate from high school. Our job is to be there for you from when you're, I think, 4th or 5th grade, 6th grade, when we do our early childhood program, our early child program, all the way up to when you're getting ready to retire and you want to learn a new skill. So our job is to be there that whole time. So no matter where you're at in life, come see us. If you want to change your degree to go down a different path, we're there for you. We'll take care of you. Number one. Number two, I would also say connect with us. We've got a variety of different financial aid options. We've got a variety of different support options. We're there for you to get the job done. And then I think the last thing I'd say, it goes back to the idea of our employees meeting you where you are, faculty and our staff. If you come in, you just touch base with them, let them know. They're going to sit down with you. We're going to try to put together a plan that's going to help you get to where you need to be, and we'll get you there. And then lastly, I throw out, if you see me out in the community walking around or whatever it is, my job is, as I say, we are a community college. My job is to be there for the community at any time. Don't hesitate to come up and say hi to me. Give me your phone number or whatever, and I'll give it to somebody on our campus to connect up with them. They'll give you a call, and we'll get you in the process of getting there. So really, I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's our job to transform people's lives in the community, and with that, we're ready to do that at any point in your life. It's our job to take care of you.
Something you said, the adult world. So how many, just approximately, adults come back to school to maybe change their path of life?
Right. We do get a large number. I don't know the number right off the top of my head. Right, yeah. But that number since the pandemic has really shrank, and it shrank for kind of two reasons. The pandemic changed some things, and it also shrank because right now, when you look at the workforce, the wages that people are paying right now are they've just grown so much, and so we really compete with the workforce in terms of our adult learners. So our largest block of students right now are going to be your dual enrollment students and our traditional students that are coming in. Our average age is still well above 20. I mean, that's the way it works, right? But we just have less adult learners than what we've had in the past. But that doesn't mean that we're not ready for them and that we're not out there searching for them.
That's right.
You know? Come on back. And part of that goes to us, and what we're trying to do is, okay, well, we know that a lot of people are going back to work because, 5 years ago in this job they were making $10 an hour. Now that same job is paying $25, right? Just because the way wages have changed. So we've got to be flexible and figure out, okay, how can we meet those people that are working now and make sure we do it. That's through online delivery. That's through having courses at night. That's for us staying open a little bit later at night so you have access to our offices and our services. So those are some of the things we're trying to do to get hold of those adult learners. We have less, but they're still here. It's just we've got to kind of find them a little differently than we did before.
Well, I'm just so pleased you're here and just helping us, just guiding us through our everyday life.
We appreciate it. And I'll throw out, too, also, I want to say I appreciate the Jeff Chamber. You guys have been great to the college whenever we've wanted to work with you, sponsor an event or whatever. You guys have been awesome for us. I was on the Chamber for a while, and Chris Tate is on the Chamber.
Yes.
And we appreciate that opportunity to be there and be part of the process.
Well, thank you. And always touch my mind because it's so close to my heart.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you for being a chamber member. Thank you for just being there for us. You've helped us so much, and we appreciate you. And Chris as well, and your whole team.
Well, thank you very much. If there's anything we need, you let us know. We'll be there for you.
I'm going to get you on speed dial.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tony Miska.